This is Refugio State Beach just outside Santa Barbara, part of a coastline that has become really epic in American fantasy. This would typically, on the eve of Memorial Day weekend, be filled with beauty and boaters and campers. But the boats you see out behind me are not, in fact, pleasure boats. They're specially equipped rescue boats skimming oil off the surface. And the only people allowed on this beach are federal officials, emergency workers, all kitted out in hazmat suits. This beach has become not just ruined, it is in fact dangerous to human beings.
It's very disappointing. I spent my whole career providing opportunities for the public to recreate and to protect places like this, and to see it impacted so severely in such a short period of time. Making the decision to close campgrounds on Memorial Day weekend is nothing any superintendent wants to do.
This region goes to great lengths to attract people to these beaches, but right now they are warning them away. And that's because not only are untrained volunteers a danger to wildlife, but it's also because of the 105,000 gallons that spilled here and the 24,000 of those that reached the Pacific. All of that is dangerous to people. This whole beach smells like gasoline. It gives you a headache after being here for a few hours. And that's why there's a unified federal, local, and state response underway.
To measure the breadth and the spread of pollution, we're continuing to use the daily overflights of spills and best direct our available assets. More than 3,000 feet of boom has been deployed.
Now, those numbers might sound impressive, but they actually reflect a pretty limited response so far. If you look at the booms that they've laid out here behind me, these booms are basically intended to keep water from carrying oil up past this point and into the inland waterway here on the other side of this culvert here. And there are also booms out in the ocean that they're using to sort of curtain off the area, try to keep oil from moving elsewhere. The thing is, though, they have not, in fact, put booms down along the actual shoreline itself. Typically, in a spill like this, you would try and sort of cordon off all of that. As a result, you're seeing oil being carried into the rocks for every high tide. And that means that these workers are going to continue to have to clean up every 12 hours. All of this, in fact, arrived here just last night. So what we're seeing here is the nature of an oil spill, that oil gets absolutely everywhere. And at this point, there seems to be sort of a stunted response, and that's because of limited resources brought in so far. Why not have booms along the shore to keep the high tide from bringing the oil in?
A lot of it comes down to availability, the amount of boom available. Honestly, it's pretty much impossible to get all the oil. Our crews, they're trying to get as much as they can while it's still at sea, but then as it comes ashore, as you see here, we have to then have crews address it as it comes ashore.
Right now, humpback whales, gray whales, porpoises, sea lions are all going to the place that they're going to feed for the summer. And that means that they're going to be feeling these effects, not just from the very top of the food chain, all the way down to the krill and plankton that keep this ecosystem thriving. All of that is going to be absorbing this toxic substance for years to come. Jacob Ward, Al Jazeera, outside Santa Barbara, California.